Hi guys, my name is Ryan from Put a Rig on It, and we're about to discuss something that I've been dying to do but just haven't found the time. And so let's get to it. I want to talk about a couple different things you can be able to do for your RV that is just going to make it just a little bit better than it is now. And so there's two different things that I want to talk about. One thing is where you put the sewer hose into the back bumper, and so on both sides typically it has a little rubber stopper on it and it has a little hole for you to be able to pull it out. Well, downside of that hole is that there's the potential for bugs to get in there, wasps, bees, whatever, and then you go to stick your hand in there, go to pull out your tube, and now you have like a wasp or a hornet or something coming back at you. So that's one thing. The benefit of being able to try to block that from any insects is obviously now no insects can be able to come on through. So that's one beneficial thing that you can be able to do, and I'll talk about exactly how to be able to do that. The second thing is on top of your RV, depending on how many tanks you have, typically it's usually black tank, gray tank, or two gray tanks and a black tank. So there's vents on top of it so that when you run water, when you do everything, those gases and everything can be able to vent out, especially since everything's closed off. Your black tank, everything's closed off except for the tube that goes up and vents out. On your gray tanks, you have those J loops that are in the sinks and the showers to be able to prevent any smells from coming back up. And so the water will sit in there and prevent that. So where's the gas have to go? It goes up through those tubes. The downside of those tubes is that you can be able to have, what I did was have little black flies that were able to go down in there, stick to the sides of it, and hatch little tiny larvae. And so I would have to where, not that often because of that water, but occasionally I'd have some flies that would pop up. I'd have no idea. That's one. And then the black tank, I also was a little suspicious that some of those flies were getting down in there and potentially causing the larva to be built up and then go ahead and shoot out the opening of the toilet. So I have a fix for that. I don't know how well this fix is going to be, and I'm definitely going to want to update you and kind of see as far as if this is going to be beneficial or not. Just something I thought about, and I was like, that would be great if it works. And so if it works, great. And so that is going to be with Screenman. And so this is to normally be able to fix your screens of your house and your lanai. You can buy it at Walmart. I got mine on sale for $4. But you normally, I think it's like $7 as far as for this. They give you two screens and it has an adhesive side. So normally you'd be able to just take a blow dryer, which I have. Yes, it's my wife's blow dryer. I don't have my own blow dryer. I don't have enough hair to be able to do that. Make sure you ask your wife's permission. Make sure she doesn't get mad at you for using it. Let her know what you're using it for and you're not going to damage it. So the benefit of the Screenman is, getting back to it, is that there is an adhesive on one side. So the blow dryer, I'm going to use an extension cord blow dryer, and that's going to be able to help adhese it to the insides of that tubular structure on the bumper, and then also on the top, the PVC piping on the top too. So I'll kind of show you exactly how to get to both of them. Make sure they're nice and clean for the adhesive to be able to stick through. A little alcohol is going to be beneficial, and then we're going to see how this works. So hopefully it works really well. So this is what I'm talking about. So on both sides you have the little rubber stopper on it, and so I'm going to pull mine off. I am going to clean it really well. I'm going to clean my hands, so don't worry about any of those people that might be grossed out. But you can see on the inside there is a nice flat surface for you to be able to do that. The only potential downside I see is that if I'm trying to pull this off on the edges, it might be difficult for me to pull off. A lot of people will stick their fingers inside of it and be able to pull it off, and that makes things a little bit easier. So I don't know if that's going to potentially be a problem or not, but I'm going to try it and just see. A lot of times I kind of just use my fingers on the very tips of it just to be able to kind of pull it off, and then when I push it back in, I just use my palm to just push it back in too. So it hopefully should be able to work really well. So I'm gonna get to cleaning both these off, and then we're gonna come back and see how this works. All right, now we're gonna spray them down, clean them up really well. Use a little alcohol. Let that dry really well. Now we're ready to apply the Screenman. They do give you 2 screens. One side you can kind of feel is a little bit more metal. The other side is a little bit more waxy kind of. That's the adhesive side. That's the side that you're going to put down. So on the directions, they say make sure your hairdryer is on high heat. Cut a space about a 1/2 inch extra than where you need, which is kind of perfect because that's exactly the hole of where I'm going. So I will roughly cut it exactly kind of how I need it. Perfect. And then same thing for this one. And you can see where there's a little bit of edge on there, which is going to allow it to adhere on. So hopefully this works out well for rubber. I know it's not intended for this purposes, but I think it'll do the job that we need it to do. So let's get going. I think that's gonna work. The other thing that I've been doing is using something metal or something like the scissors in this case to keep it still, because I noticed when I first started, it wants to blow away. I have a see-through area that air can still be able to get through, because you don't want to close this off, because you close this off and all those potential smells and everything, moisture that may get in there from you using the sewer hose is going to cause a big problem. So you still want air to be able to get through, just don't want any bugs to be able to get through. The only thing that I'm going to let it dry really well, but I may put a little bit of super glue just around the edges just to give that little extra seal on it too. It doesn't take too long for the adhesive to start to melt on here, so I think this will do a pretty good job. I'm gonna take that glue. The other option too, and I've seen some people do it, is like melt plastic on there. I think that's gonna be a little excessive probably in this case. I got a little Gorilla Glue, a little super glue. We're just gonna, it's a gel, so I think it'll work probably a little bit better than your normal super glue. It'd be easier to be able to tell on the edging, kind of see what I did there. I'm gonna get up on top of the rig and we're gonna get to those holes. I'll show you exactly what to do. You're gonna need your toolkit. You're gonna need your extension cord with your blow dryer, a flathead screwdriver, the Screenman, a pair of scissors. Good to go. Flathead screwdriver. So typically these, you can see to where normally they would have a gel. You're gonna need to remove all of that self-leveling kind of adhesive gel to be able to get to the screw. So there is a screw that's in there. Mine is the same size as a regular socket. So what you would use to be able to, for your screwdrivers, that actually fits well on it, and it's a pretty small diameter, so that makes it easy to get into. Screw out, top off. It's not extremely level, but that doesn't really matter because I don't really care about getting on the piece of PVC pipe. I'm gonna actually attach it to this round surface right here, adhese it on to that. Now again, I don't need much of this, but I want to make sure I got a little extra edge on there. It's going to be a trial and error. It's not going to be a perfect fit as far as between the two. So I made it so it has a little notch in there to be able to fit in, and I think that's going to work out pretty well. It doesn't have to be perfect, like a lot of things. As we like to say in the RV world, sometimes it's good enough. So I'm finding you need to stop for a second and let the adhesive really attach to it. You just keep blowing, the adhesive just stays sticky and it doesn't get a chance to dry. Use your fingers kind of to manipulate all around it. I think that actually looks pretty good. Pretty pleased. I had no idea how this was gonna work out. Just getting it to stick on there, the adhesive, an issue when I was thinking about it was just gonna be a screen itself. But I think this adhesive just makes that just a little bit better, just to be able to allow it to. And then again, gonna go over it with a little bit of super glue. And there's literally a fly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. See this fly right here? He's like wanting to get on in inside. That's why I want to do this. Thank you, fly. Good example. But yeah, the flies just want to get her all inside. They smell, any smells are coming from that, from the gray tank, from the black tank, and so they want to get in there. So, I don't know if you saw that fly, but I sure did. And he wasn't able to get in. Now that it's sort of sealed around that edge there, again, it doesn't matter about that PVC, but you can see the edges look pretty good, and I think that's gonna hold. No more flies. So I'm gonna work on the other two, and then I should be good to go. All right, once you get all that gel out and down to that screw, so you can see all the little pieces and everything. That's what I'm talking about with the nests. You can see there already one nest that had formed. It's in there. When you always fix something, or always try to fix something, there's always something new that comes about. And so now looking at this black tank vent, I'm kind of worried there might be a lot more crap down in it. The black tank is just a long tube that goes all the way down the black tank. So I'm gonna use a hose. We're gonna spray down in it. That should help clear out some of that cobweb debris that was down in there and get it all the way back down to the black tank. I don't have any smells or any problems, you know, sewer smells, so I don't think there's as big of a problem down in here, so it should be fine just continuing putting on the men. So I just got to clean around the edges and then go ahead and put the screen on. In this case, this is actually raised up, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this on here like I was planning on, but then I'm going to see if I can put something constrictive around it, almost like a band that's going to just hold it on a little bit better. Put a little bit of glue on it as well too, and then that'll just help it seal just a little bit extra. What better way to make sure that it holds on there than to use your old trusty zip ties. Another one of your RV's best friends. Zip ties, I love zip ties. They work great. Just keep the end away from where the screw is, because I could already see where it's not gonna wanna fit on there if you do that. So I'm gonna take the zip tie and just move it off to the side and it should be fine. I don't even think I gotta glue it. I think zip tie should do it. So my second gray tank is actually raised as well, so I think I'm gonna do the exact same thing again. All right, we're all done. All I need to do is just take that die cord to be able to put in those holes where the screw was. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day. And remember to push that subscribe button and continue watching our adventures. Thanks so much.